going to be tying a Muskegon River Gray Drake spinner. For this fly, we're going to use a number 10, 2 extra long dry fly hook. And let's mount that in our vise. We'll be using 6/0 black uni thread as our tying thread. We'll be using extra fine gold wire for our ribbing. And we're going to be using a black dry fly dubbing for the body and the thorax. For the tail, any variegated hackle fibers that are stiff about the length of the hook. Okay, we're going to start by building a foundation, a thread foundation on the hook. We'll start that right behind the eye. We're going to wrap this in touching wraps all the way back to the beginning of the bend of the hook. Okay, at this point I'm going to place a couple extra wraps to create kind of a ball back here to help spread the hackle fibers for the tail. I would use about half a dozen fibers for the tail. I'll pull them out perpendicular to the stem of the feather and cut them off. And this should line up the tips. Oops. I want the tail to be about as long as the hook itself. And you can see how the fibers have been spread out. Now to tie on our gold wire. Okay, now we can start applying the dubbing. We'll keep the dubbing fairly light. We'll make a thin dubbing noodle because we want the body to be quite thin. Just a little bit more. And there you go. Okay, next we're going to wrap our gold wire for the ribbing. About 6 or 7 turns should do it. And let's tie off our ribbing. And we'll break off the wire by bending it back and forth. Okay, next we'll put on the wing, and we'll take out its high-vis fibers that we're using for the wing. And I will remove some fibers from this package. And there's about how many fibers I pulled out, and I'm going to double this to give me the thickness of material that I want for the wing. This will cause the fly to float in the surface film, which is the way the natural floats when they fall to the water. Now you want the wing to be perpendicular to the body of the fly and flat to the water surface. And you can accomplish that with figure-8 wraps. And I'm going to have a few extra wraps in front of the wing and a few in back of the wing. Okay, I'm going to trim this a little bit so it doesn't get in my way, but I'm not cutting it to its permanent length yet. We'll do that in a little bit. The next thing we want to do is build up the thorax, and we will use the same black dubbing as we did for the body. Again, a few figure-8 wraps around the wing will give us that thorax. Just a little bit more. And let's see how that looks. I think I'll put just a little bit more. And now let's finish the fly here. with a whip finish. And we'll cut off our tying thread and cut the wings to length. And we want the wings to be about the same length as the body of the fly. And a little bit of head cement, and the flower will be complete. And there you are, the Muskegon River gray drake. This is a very effective fly when the gray drakes are hatching in late May, early June.